Hey guys, Willie and Murfitt here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another video. Today we are going to be looking at installing the front lower arm on the Nissan Leaf. If you joined me in the previous video, you see me diagnose and fault find the knocking, banging, pulling and such like. So it's time today to rectify that and hopefully we can get it sorted. So I will leave a link up here for that video and maybe up here. If your car is experiencing similar symptoms, i.e. pulling when accelerating, knocking, vibrating, a bit of a rattle going on, things to look out for, and let's get this sorted. So, let's get stuck in. I made a monumental mess up and I'm absolutely shocked that this hasn't failed far worse than it potentially could have. And wow, have a look at this. So obviously in the previous video I showed you the play in the bottom ball joint, which you ready for it? There's an awful lot of play there, which you could see quite clearly from down here. What I didn't take into consideration was actually looking at the bottom bolt. So I'm looking at my finger between the... Oh my goodness. Anyway, the bushes is coming out from the rear and yeah. I replaced this, but I am wow. I'm in a bit of shock really. I've driven this. My sister-in-law drives this. My nieces go in this car. That is pretty scary. So might make it a little bit easier getting that bolt out. What it might mean is I might need to source a replacement bolt. There may be a reason why that hasn't gone together. I'm hoping not. But it's a pinch bolt, so let's see. Anyway, I'll get some sockets and I'll go through what I've got to do here to get this arm out. Hopefully we can get this sorted relatively straightforward. I've got the car on a stand, so this should be hopefully a nice easy job. Fingers crossed. The fact the bolt's been off would suggest that maybe this has been repaired at some point in the recent past. Anyway, let's get stuck in. Right then, tools for the job. I'm going to need a 14mm socket, which is going to be for the pinch bolt that goes through the side. Also a 14mm spanner to hold the other end of that. I'm going to need an 18mm socket for the rear bolt, an accompanying 18mm spanner. The front bolt is a 21mm, so we've got 20mm and a socket and a spanner. I've got an extension bar should I need to get into here. I've got a hammer for tapping the bolt through and also for knocking the ball joint out of the hub. And I've also got a punch to punch the bolt through. A lever bar to lever the arm. The arm's gonna have to come down to get out the bolt and then maneuver these two out. And then I've got a little hammer, just a little tapping stick if needed. So, I think the thing to do is now, I have just put this is what's quite scary about this. You see that there? That is completely loose. There's an argument to say, if you do that up, it might be all right. I'm just a bit concerned that it's the bush at the back is coming out anyway. I have got a new arm, and I'll go get that now and show you that. So this is my new suspension arm. As you can see, bushes are all in, ball joints in. You can replace ball joints, but to be honest, there's not really a lot of point doing a ball joint when this complete arm delivered was £26. So I think the thing is, use this and job done. Anyway, it's going to fit in quite nicely. Got the 2 bolts at the back and the ball joint at the front, which holds into the hub. And all this does is pivot up and down with the car suspension. The ball joint can obviously pivot, or the hover will pivot on the ball joint. It's pretty straightforward, but very, very important piece of kit for your car. Right, let's get stripping. Right, the pinch bolt's out. It doesn't look to be in very good condition. So I'm going to give that a clean up on the wire wheel and check what that's like. If that isn't usable or serviceable, I will look to replace it. I'm thinking it's going to be fine. I just think that a lot of that dirt is because the bolt wasn't tightened in the first place. This is quite an awkward job. The job itself is relatively straightforward. The awkwardness comes when you're trying to get access to the camera to see what you're doing. But basically, the pinch bolt's out, so that arm will now drop out from the ball joint. It may need a bit of persuasion with a hammer. So I'm thinking maybe down here, and you can see if I put the car onto a lock, you should be able to see the arm. I might need to hit it down, I might need to lever it. It may even pop out just with force for myself. So let's see. There you go, that's the arm now free. Didn't take much persuasion. Let's get these back bolts out. Use my impact gun for speed. One side. Always one. Right, need a breaker bar on that one. Battery's died. Whew. Right, that's loose. Right. So that's the 3 bolts out. Frustratingly, that ran out of battery, so let's go the old-fashioned way. But the 3 bolts are out, and the arm itself is now going to be pretty loose. So what I want to do is pivot the ball joint down, twist it, and then pull it out. When I come to put it in, I'll push it in this way, twist it round, and push the ball joint up. Just make a quick comparison between the two, making sure that everything looks the same. And cover off. So the ball joint is the same, which is good. The rear bushes are fine, and then obviously this bush is set in, whereas this bush here was coming out, I imagine, because it's been flapping around a lot. So this can go in there, and frustratingly, I'd run over the WD-40 can. So yeah, put this back in. I'll just give this a quick clean up inside here to get rid of all the old dirt. I'm not going to go crazy, but I just want to get the worst of that out because I don't want that sitting in there and causing corrosion and such like. That's good enough for me. So it might need a bit of persuasion. Okay, so with the arm now in place, the first one I'm going to put in is going to be the back. So you can see that the arm is quite horizontal. If I put the ball joint in first, that's going to pivot down, and it's actually going to pivot the bolt hole, so it's going to be really difficult to align them up. It might need a bit of a jiggery pokery just to line the holes up fully. But I should hopefully be able to get in as far as I can. Just a quick look to underneath. Just come a little bit towards me. There we go. Big bolt. Not too much maybe. Sometimes it needs a little gentle persuasion just to get it started. The same for the back arm. Now, you can see that top of the bolt is just poking through. So I'm going to go too high, because you'll really struggle to get this nut on. This is going to be this one. With that then lined up, get my 18mm on there. You should see the top of the bolt come through. And from this side to make it easy to see. You can see on the ball joint there is a groove. Now the groove is so when the bolt slides through, the bolt sits nicely in here and doesn't jiggle around. So by pushing down, what's going to come out? By pushing down on the lower arm, I can then manoeuvre the hub into place and then give the hub a bit of a wiggle. Normally that just pops up. Might need a little bit of persuasion from underneath just to give it a tap. All in all, that should go up nice and easily. Well, there we go. The bolt's good, the thread's okay. So let's push this through. We'll go through. And I can lock this off now. Well, that's tight. Right, okay, so lower arm bolts, 2 at the rear, and the ball joint bolt are now fitted, secure. I'm going to put the wheel back on, give the car a little bit of wobble, and then take it for a road test. The arm has been replaced, and now you can see that there's no play side to side like there was before. And the ball joint is solid, and when you look at the old one, you have this movement. Now it's not too bad. It probably would go again, and probably you could have saved ourselves a little bit of money by just doing that bolt up, but the bush at the rear I'm not happy with, and yeah, I've just looked to see if there's a spare tyre, which there isn't, so a new tyre, and away we go. So I can't road test it just yet, but I'm going to go get a new tyre for it. I'll park it over here, order a new tyre up, and hopefully then we'll go on a road test. Right, so tyre's been sorted. It does still need to be tracked. I've just had a quick tweak of the wheel alignment because the left hand was pointing toe in quite significantly, so it still needs to be looked at on maybe a laser tracking or actually with a guide. So I've just done it by eye. It does drive much nicer. There is still a rattle from that front left, which is bugging me somewhat. And I can't quite work out what it is, but every time you go over a bit of a bump or a pothole, the wheels seem to grab and it takes the car off on a sort of a bit of a tangent. So with the wheels aligned, we can have another look at it and see what's what, but everything is tight. Everything is, you know, they've got the 3 points of contact for that lower arm. Everything is really tight. There's no sign of any play or movement. I wondered if maybe the pinch bolt was wrong. So I looked the other side and the bolt is still the same. So it's not that. There's no play in the top mount. There's no play in the steering. There's no play in the drop links. It could be a loose under tray. But it does drive much better. The steering is still off, but the tyre was worn. So we need to get this in for tracking sooner rather than later, to be honest. Because otherwise we're going to end up with a bit of an issue where the car needs to be tracked and it will rub the tyre out pretty significantly, pretty quickly. But let's get this car back and let them sort the tracking out. And all being well, we'll have the car back and that noise or that rattle will have gone. Jesus Christ. Anyway, that's the car all parked up. That's me done for the lower arm, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have, leave a thumbs up, comment down below and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Until next time, I'll see you later.